Hello, Science Party. My name's James Jansen. I'm the leader of the Science Party, and welcome to another Science Party update. We have a very exciting episode for you today. Firstly, we've got Dutton's donor detention decision. Sounds exciting, right? We have Julie Bishop, WhatsApp, and phone hacks. And finally, we're going to talk about Andrew Leong and the Wentworth by-election. We have decided that Andrew is going to run in the by-election, and it's going to be fantastic. So more about that at the end of this episode. But firstly, I would like to talk about Dutton's donor detention decision. So Peter Dutton could be in a bit of hot water. The man who's supposedly very much against the illegal immigration has been caught out giving a bit of a hand up to an immigrant worker who came to Australia on an incorrect visa. That immigrant worker happened to be working for someone very near and dear to the Liberal Party. So we will just bring that up. Firstly, yes, ABC's reporting that Peter Dutton defends au pair intervention after political donations as Labor calls for inquiry. Coming from the ABC News. So, for those of you who don't know what an au pair is, an au pair is basically a domestic assistant, someone who helps out in someone's home. And the main issue with this au pair decision is that it was for the son of a very important donor to the Liberal Party. So Callum's father, so Callum is the employer of this immigrant worker. Callum's father, Hugh McLaughlin, has donated $150,000 to the state and federal branches of the party since 1999, including $20,000 donation in 2008 and a $25,000 donation in 2013. And then after the decision was made, another $50,000 went to the South Australian Liberal Party. And so this is after the immigration detention for this worker was overturned on the lobbying of AFL boss Gillan McLaughlin. So this is a bit embarrassing for the federal government, in my opinion. The man who is supposed to be tough on immigration, the man who is supposed to be, preventing illegals from coming across the border, he's failed. He made an exception, and in this case, the exception happened to be a good mate of the Liberal Party. Now, he says that he didn't know that the father was a donor, and it's quite possible that he is. But either way, I think that this shows that it's a broken system. Now, to be very clear, the Science Party would allow a worker like this into Australia. The difference is that we'd be much more permissive on this case. We'd let more migrant workers who are contributing back to our society into our country. But it won't be based on whether we're mates with that the boss hiring them or not. And I also think that we'd be a little bit more, forgiving on the people who actually have, humanitarian needs than the Liberal Party has been. So, it's a little bit of a contradiction here from Dutton. And I think probably just as well that they didn't go to Dutton as a leader, because this would come out straight away, immediately after he would have been elected as a leader. So pretty interesting and concerning news coming there from the Liberal Party. The next topic I'd like to talk about is Julie Bishop and the WhatsApp phone hacks. So, in the lead up to the leadership spill, there was a lot of toing and froing between members of the Liberal government. And they were trying to work out who was going to be leader next. And they were concerned about the fact that if they put Julie Bishop up, then she might lose. And ultimately, that came down to a set of texts between the government party officials from the left. So the Guardian's reported on this, but ultimately the original information came from ABC insiders. And I'll just put this to the side here for you. As you can see, Paul Fletcher from the Liberal Party is saying that someone from the Libs, some people from the right faction of the Libs were going to back Julie Bishop to try and knock out who ended up winning, Scott Morrison, early on, and then ultimately seize power by electing Dutton at the end. So I think that this is a pretty interesting sequence of events that went around, calling for everyone, despite our hearts tugging us to Julie, we need to vote with our heads and vote for Scott Morrison. Now, this is a group WhatsApp chat, and it's got a few other interesting people in there, including Christopher Pyne, who's pretty important in the Liberal Party, let's say. But you've got the full list of everyone who's in this chat, and I think it's pretty funny. I don't think that it's good that people have their private communications being leaked, but I think it's funny that they've been leaked, especially when you consider the context of the current push for the Liberal government to do hacks on your phone. So this is from the ABC News, but this is being reported widely. The federal government is attempting to force legislation on phone manufacturers and other big tech companies to put backdoors into devices and into platforms so that they can hack individuals. Now, this is yet another piece of creeping scope for the surveillance state, and I think it's disgusting, to be honest. We get more and more of our rights eroded away every day. Now, this issue is, it sounds kind of trivial linking these two things together, but it's actually the same thing. When the government wants to find out about individuals, there's not a massive amount of oversight in terms of making sure that the information is gathered for the right reasons. So if you had a conversation for whatever reason that needs to be private, with the proposed legislation in front of the government or being pushed by the government right now, that information could be revealed, and it could be embarrassing, just like these Julie Bishop texts. So they have been the victim of a hacking. Someone has backdoored their WhatsApp conversation and revealed the information to the public and publicly embarrassed everyone in the party. And I think that that's just desserts. And I think that the Liberal Party should change their policy and not push to backdoor our devices, because it will come back to bite them and everyone else in society if they get away with doing it. The final thing that I'd like to talk about is Andrea Leong. Andrea Leong is running in the federal seat of Wentworth in the by-election, which is caused by Malcolm Turnbull resigning. So Malcolm Turnbull was ousted as PM, and he promised that if he was kicked out from the PM position, that he would resign from his seat. And that leaves an opening for a new election. And Andrea Leong, our New South Wales leader for the Science Party, will be taking on that by-election, representing the Science Party. And I think that she will do a fantastic job at representing the Science Party and providing a really fresh, alternate voice in this race. You've got a lot of people lining up for the Liberal Party in the seat of Wentworth, and it looks like, the seat of Wentworth is really safe. But the seat of Wentworth is actually held strongly by the Liberal Party, in part because of Malcolm Turnbull and Lucy Turnbull, Malcolm Turnbull's wife's popularity in the area. And with that power pair no longer contesting this election, other candidates, I think, have a very, very strong chance. And so what I'll do is I'll just bring up our our donation page here. As you can see, we need a lot of money. We're aiming for $9,000. The first $1,000 is to pay the deposit for running. So if you want to run in the election, you just have to pay the AEC $1,000. And you supposedly get it back, but you only get it back if you reach 4%. So we need donations to cover that initial amount. So please get in there, donate to the Andrea Leong campaign. I'll put a link in the video description above or below if it's on YouTube. And yeah, please get in, donate. We need the money to make sure that people know that the Science Party exists. That's one of the big problems with running as a minor party candidate. The big media outlets refuse to cover us. And so that means people don't even know that a better option exists. So please get in there, donate everything that you can. We're also looking for volunteers. We will be doing lots of letterbox drops, hopefully to drop a lot of magnets into the letterboxes. So please come and join us and support Andrea Leong. So that wraps up another episode of the Science Party Update. Please get involved, and signing out from me. Thanks a lot.